Hello, and welcome to my walkthrough of the History Channel's Civil War, A Nation Divided. I'm going to be doing all these missions chronologically, in the order they actually took place during the Civil War, not actually the order they take place in the game. And clearly, the Civil War began with the first Battle of Bull Run.
July 21st, 1861 is a beautiful day for the first major battle of the war. Union soldiers, their uniforms clean and pressed, march on Bull Run Creek under General McDowell. They are 37,000 strong. Martial music plays and Union banners flap in the wind. Waiting at Bull Run Creek are 22,000 Confederates commanded by General Beauregard and Sidney Johnston. Their strategy is to defeat the enemy's rear and endanger Washington, D.C. Both armies converge near Stone Bridge on Bull Run Creek. A small contingent of Northerners block the southern advance of the bridge. It is up to Southern forces to break through this blockade and continue their assault against the enemy.
We win this battle, boys, the war's ours for the taking. These Northern boys turn and run. You'll see. Here they come. Let's move, men. Forward!
Yep, these Northern boys will turn and run. That is actually what happened during this battle. The weapon we're using right here is a Colt rifle, which wasn't in mass production during the Civil War, so it really wasn't used that much, but it holds 5 rounds per cartridge, which means a much less reloading time. So I use this weapon a lot. Now, unlike the Springfield rifle that we just picked up, which was used quite a bit, you see it only has 1 shot but does a lot of damage. And look how much time it takes to reload for this 1 shot. And this Colt rifle also reloads pretty quickly. You pull the pin, remove the cartridge, replace the cartridge, and then replace the pin, and you have 5 shots. Now, the Civil War was the culmination of 50 years of growing conflict between the North and the South, and by 1861, most American citizens wanted a decisive resolution to the dispute over states' rights and slavery. And many Americans wanted war, but until this first Battle of Bull Run right here, they had no idea of what war would actually cost. There had been nothing in the American experience that could have prepared them for what they were about to endure. And what we're supposed to do here is destroy the Union cannons, which are over on the left, as soon as I get rid of this guy. Way over there. But you can see they're surrounded by Union soldiers as well. And right in between that and this wagon, behind those bushes, are more Union soldiers carrying revolvers, carrying 6-shooters. Now, both the North and the South thought this war was going to be quick. They thought this battle actually was going to turn the tide. Whoever won this battle was going to win the war. And you can see this is a good vantage point right here to pick people off, but they're really far away and really hard to see, instead of just jumping right into the thick of it and being surrounded, being flanked on all sides. Whoa! There's a second guy behind the wagon. I saw one. Hold on, hold on. Who can reload faster? There we go. The Colt rifle reloads faster than just about any other weapon in the game, and holds 5 shots. Matter of fact, this war was so romanticized by both sides, by the North and the South, that most men were absolutely petrified that the war was going to end before they had a chance to enlist and get their red badge of courage, as they called it. So they were completely unprepared to see their friends writhing on the ground in pain next to them, which was usually a really slow, painful death. They were completely unprepared for this. Okay, So we got guys down here and more guys over on the left. Before we turn this corner, I want to pick these guys off. You can see whenever they fire and whenever you fire, there's just smoke everywhere, and it's really hard to see where you're going. There's the last guy with the revolver. Even revolvers take longer to reload than this Colt rifle does. And got another guy right here. And moving around. As soon as we get rid of this guy, we can move around to where the cannons are. When you get to these cannons, you can actually mount these cannons and shoot at the Union soldiers behind you in these hills. It's really hard to do because, as you can see, how do you tell where they are? I don't recommend doing this because we're about to be attacked from the other side. And gotta reload. About a good third of the time that you're playing this game, a good third of the gameplay is going to be spent reloading.
Keep going, man!
There are other rifles. There's actually
Keep going, man!
a Henry rifle that you can pick up later in this level, but it's right towards the end. It holds 12 shots at a time, but it's right at the end. So it doesn't do you any good for most of this level, but it's a great weapon. And reload again.
Keep going, man!
And pick them off. This is obviously a first-person shooter, and first-person shooters really aren't my specialty if you've watched any of the other games that I've done. Usually free roam open world games are what I prefer, but this is a Civil War game, so of course I've got to do this. They run over there to pick up the ammo and come back and ignite this barrel. And then run. Run away. You don't want to be anywhere near this explosion. And there you go, cannons destroyed. Now we've got to go find our commanding officer, who's actually right back where we came. We're going to go through another wave of guys, though. A small wave of guys. Before we get to him, yeah. There's maybe, what, 5, 6 of them down there? Not too bad. This weapon, this Colt rifle, only does medium damage in this game as compared to the Springfield weapon that we saw. Only has one shot, but does a lot of damage. This one does medium damage, so it's going to take more than one shot to put guys down. Alright, there we go.
Charge will occur down the road, right through the Union Center. All 3 barricades must be blown to protect the charge. Here are your explosives. Good luck.
Okay, so what really differentiates this war from all the wars prior, let's say, they were using a lot of the tactics that Napoleon would use, whereas guys would be marching down the field almost elbow to elbow, and it would just be a huge wall of guys that you would have to break through. The difference is that there was a recently invented form of ammunition, the mini ball, which made musket fire for both sides far deadlier than in any previous war. This bullet would careen around inside the body and shatter bones and tear arteries and vital organs, and this is why there were so many amputations in the Civil War. The damage done by these .58 caliber bullets couldn't be medically repaired even today. Amputation was the only thing they could have done. They would leave almost nothing of the bone to repair. And more guys. I got some grenades. That should help a little bit. Now as we're coming up here, over in the field on the right, there's going to be guys shooting at us over there too. You can try to take them out, but the focus should really be on the guys in front of you. Obviously we have another guy over here. Cover is extremely important. In most first-person shooters, cover is extremely important. Or even third-person shooters. You can see all the smoke everywhere. There's this, unlike in this game right here, you can see that the Confederacy is wearing gray, the Union is wearing blue. Well, in the first Battle of Bull Run, that wasn't necessarily the case, because nobody was expecting this battle to go on. They were a huge majority of the population thought that this battle was going to decide the war. And a lot of people were wearing different colors. As a matter of fact, a lot of people on the Confederate side of the war were wearing blue uniforms as well. And during the smoke, with all the smoke and all the explosions, it was really difficult to tell who was who. And there's a sniper's nest up there. We can't go any further until we hit that sniper's nest.
Victory, man!
Get him, get him, get him. Alright, all good. Now, the grenade that I just threw just opened a hole in that fence. You can see it right there once I get past the smoke. There are hidden areas that you want to find in this game, and there's a hidden document in a lot of these. And inside here is the first secret area, and it's got the hidden document in it. Which in this level is a photograph. In the very beginning of the war, like this is right here, the North and the South were so far apart from each other, they couldn't even agree on what to name each battle. This first initial battle right here is only remembered as the first Battle of Bull Run because the North ultimately won the war. The North would name its battle after the closest stream, and the South would name it after the closest town. So if the South had actually won the Civil War, this conflict would be remembered as the Battle of Manassas. And that's true for every battle of the war. Okay, over here, we don't necessarily have to do this, I just want to show you this. You can see this little bridge, which is a little tricky to get up, takes you on the top of this house. The only reason you would want to do this is because there's a med pack down there. The only way to get to it is to jump off the roof. Which we don't necessarily need that, but I just wanted to show you that. We've got two more guys around the corner. And you can see he only fired one shot, so whatever weapon he's carrying has got some tremendous firepower. Alright, and moving around. Now, in order to get out of this level, we don't need to go over here, but around this wagon is the next secret area, where there are grenades. You can do that if you want to, it's not necessary to beat it. Coming up here, we're going to get another small wave of guys. These first four I'm going to throw a grenade at. But there's going to be two more. Yep, there they are. There they are. Now, one of these guys is carrying the Henry rifle. But all the way down to the end of that field is the end of this level. There's 3 barricades that we have to blow up. See, this guy's got the Henry rifle, which is a great weapon. It takes a while to reload, but it carries 12 shots. There's the first barrel that we have to detonate. And run. And turn around and run. Now whenever we blow up one, you can see we're getting shot at. We're going to have a guy on the right, maybe 2, I believe. Yeah, there's another guy right next to him. And then more on the left. This is going to happen through every barricade. And we've used 5 shots. We don't have to reload yet. This is a great weapon. I really wish you got to use this more in the game. But the Springfield rifle, I'm going to be discussing the Springfield rifle later. It wasn't really used that much during this battle, the very first battle of the war. It wasn't really in mass production yet. But it was a huge weapon, carrying the .58 caliber mini balls. Okay, and run. This will be the end right here, after this explosion. Alright, thank you guys so much. I have a lot more I want to discuss, and there are 11 more levels. Thank you guys so much for watching.
A Union victory looks assured when Confederate General Thomas Jackson is told, "General, they're beating us back." He replies calmly, "Then we will give them the bayonet." His bold defense turns the tide of the battle and forever enshrines him in military lore as Stonewall Jackson. Along with Jeb Stuart, the counterattack pushes the Union forces back to Stone Bridge, where panic sets in. It turns into a full-blown rout for the Union. 5,000 Union soldiers never return home. Those that do stagger back to Washington, D.C., their clean uniforms now bloody and tattered. The Union is humiliated, and the event comes to be known as the Great Skedaddle. In Richmond, Confederate President Jefferson Davis rejoices and claims a great victory over the Union. But it's clear now to both sides that this war will not be short nor painless to either side.